Hi, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of People in the News in North Texas. My guest today is Flower Mound resident Derek France, who is running for mayor in the May 1st town election. Thank you, Derek, for taking the time to answer questions concerning our town. All right, if you would begin by telling us something about yourself and your participation in matters affecting the community.
Hi, Bob. Good morning. Thanks for this opportunity to get to have a chance to talk to you and tell you a little bit more about myself. My wife, Amanda, and I have been married for 23 years. We've been blessed to live in Flower Mound for the last 10, where we raised our 3 children. My son, our oldest, is an active duty U.S. Marine. He's working in California right now. My oldest daughter is attending school down in College Station. And my youngest daughter will be graduating this spring and joining her sister down in Aggieland in the fall. I'm passionate about giving back to our community through philanthropy and volunteering. I currently serve on 2 of the town's boards. I'm active in the Veterans Liaison Board and the Animal Services Board. I also recently volunteered my time to the Louisville Education Foundation and assisted them with reading narratives, essays, and scholarship application packets. I'm an active member of the Flower Mound Chamber of Commerce and other professional organizations. I've previously served as an assistant scoutmaster and also recently provided my subject matter expertise to the North Central Texas C7 Human Trafficking Coalition.
Good, excellent. Okay, how about telling us what are the duties of the mayor and what experience do you have to do an effective job?
So, right, the town charter actually covers it in section 305, I think, and it talks about presiding over the town council meetings, casting a tie-breaking vote in that event. It talks about managing and overseeing contracts, and for the courts being the designated official head of our town. But really, it's much more than that. The mayor is the advocate for the town. It's the salesperson for Flower Mound. It's the focal point of what we want to represent, right? And doing and putting the town first and our community first. My background and experience have actually led me to this path. And starting back with my scouting career, through being in school, student council, becoming a police officer, working in a city environment, was a field training officer, did different things through my department, ended up working on a Department of State contract, training police overseas, worked with the Department of Defense on a logistics contract, supporting our military in Afghanistan. And in about 4 years ago, we started our own business. We have a consulting business where we connect our small businesses in our community and help them get government contracts and expand their sales base. So I understand about finances and managing a budget and personnel and intricacies of different teams, and that's really what drives me, Bob. And I feel like I'm ready to lead.
All right. Well, speaking of finances, you're not doing this for the money, are you?
No, sir. Not at all, Bob. Actually, good question, but no, not at all. I'm doing it just out of passion, right?
Yeah, of course. All right. What is it, $300 a month or something like that?
It is. Somebody asked me, and I actually looked it up. But yeah, there's a small stipend, I guess, for maybe some cell phone bills or something. But yeah, there's really no money in it, Bob.
Sure, I know. Just a little brevity in there. If elected mayor, what priorities would be at the top of your list to deal with?
Well, as a guide on our path forward, I've put together what I would call a priorities for action list. I'm a guy of action, right? And I believe you have to have a clear definition of what you hope to achieve. And some of those include hiring an experienced town manager. With Jimmy and Andrea and Molly leaving, there's sort of some vacancies there, some critical spots in our town. We need to have a transparent government with citizen engagement We need to have continued strong public safety, and we need to reduce regulations and fees. And that's just part of them. It's out on the socials, but I explain each one and what we hope to accomplish.
Okay, so you have some idea of what the most important issues are?
Well, sir, there's a few, right? Taxes, fees, unmanaged growth, density, town management,
Traffic,
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, Bob. There's a lot of work. The town's been doing a great job. I think it really could also be summed up by ensuring the safety and prosperity and opportunity for our community. That's what everybody wants.
yeah, well, Flower Mound is a very attractive place to live, and our growth reflects that appeal. What is it? What's the current population of the town? Is it about 75,000, I believe?
So right now, we're looking at, actually, there's 3 different numbers published, but you're looking at about 79,000 with a total build out population between 108 to I think 117.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
But, with that number, Bob, that also means new neighbors, new opportunities,
Sure.
Growth for our businesses. With the recent year and the focus on eating local, buying local, growth in our community managed and with the utilities and resources that can keep up with that through different, revenue sources. It's a great opportunity for our community to stay local.
Yeah. And as I said, it's an attractive place, and you got the DFW airport is a magnet for growth. Of course, it's a wonderful place to live. I don't want too many people to know about it. I mean,
Well, we try to keep it our little secret, Bob, but the word keeps getting out. But that's okay. We welcome new neighbors, but it's all about opportunity, prosperity, and security.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you think the current infrastructure is capable of handling a lot more growth without serious traffic congestion resulting?
Well, a lot more growth, no. Like in life with everything, if something grows, you have to be able to accommodate that growth. And I know the town's been working on some recent projects, adding some additional dedicated right turn lanes, some
Right.
double left turn lanes. But we also have to be cognizant of property rights, owners, easements, and it just needs to be done, while we're working with engineering and traffic and Deborah's team, right, in the town hall, to be able to plan that out and just understand the cause and effect, right? And really just be able to look at it from a perspective of, we're trying to do the right thing and take care of everybody, but it's going to have an effect on traffic, and how do we compensate for that?
Yeah. Overall, I think the roadways, we have some excellent roads and arteries throughout the town. I think it can accommodate a lot. Of course, the rush hour is always a problem, and people they're worried about any more people coming into town. That's why apartments are always looked upon as something that's going to create a whole lot more traffic. And it's nothing against apartment dwellers. I lived in an apartment a long time, but it's just a concentration of people on a small piece of property. So everybody talks about apartment, no more, please, that kind of stuff. How about the Flower Mound's financial shape? Is it pretty good?
Well, I'm no CPA, right? But I took a look at the financials, and yes, we are. We've been able to maintain our AAA rating, and Deborah and her team have been able to still keep a little back in reserve. They were forward thinking and understanding revenues, tax revenues. If you're closing businesses, that's going to decrease. So our town staff was able to try to get out in front of that. But it's simple money in, money out, right? And to try to avoid costs while increasing revenue.
So what is the approximate size of the town budget?
Well, there's 5 different funds that total, I think, about 178 million. And then you take the rollover, the carryover of approximately 64 million. So you put that together, we're just about 237 million. And that's based on the revenue plus the rollover. However, the town also has nearly equal amount of expenses. But as I said, we've been able to up till recently maintained still about a 20% reserve.
So we have a balanced budget.
Well, we do, and actually we're required to have a balanced budget. That helps with, the ratings and everything for the bonds. I took a look at the town's budget in brief, I think it's called, and they did a good job of outlining everything. Now, keep in mind, it's different than like a corporate budget or a government contracting budget. So it looks a little bit different, but it's still, numbers, and you got to make sure, again, money in, money out, and it's got to balance, because you can't spend what you don't have, right?
Yeah, and you said we have a 20% reserve fund?
Approximately, that's what I looked at for in the budget in brief. Yes, sir, on the website.
That's sizable. That's great. Let me move on to, well, two of the largest developments in town are the Riverwalk and Lakeside DFW. Have those developments contributed a lot? Excuse me, something fell down in the background. Contributed a lot to the tax base?
Well, a lot, I mean, to the tax base, it depends on what metric you're using to look at that, right? And also keeping in mind that, they most certainly they've contributed because they're there and they're generating revenue and business and customers, and people are leasing and buying those homes in those areas. With the medical facilities, mixed use venues and things down in the Riverwalk and similar amenities and venues in Lakeside, I really think that since it's still in motion, it's still occurring, I don't really think we've been able to actually realize the impact and the increase of revenue to the town's budget. We're still in process.
And I understand that there are several businesses, restaurants opening in the Riverwalk. So there was just something in the Gazette about that this morning, I believe. And so that's really coming together, and that would, some of these are very fine restaurants too. So I think that's going to be a boon to the area as well.
They are, sir. And that goes back to what I had mentioned previously. Being able to have a community where we work and we live and we worship and we eat, we stimulate our own town's economy in a little micro environment that makes the town of Flower Mound why we live here, right?
It makes for some blissful living. Generally speaking, what's your opinion on the TERS zone, like a tax increment reinvestment zone?
Right. So I think managed properly, they can definitely have a benefit. We have one that's called it's referred to as TERS 1. It's the 2499 corridor. That's actually about to wrap up, I think, in a year or two. And because of that fund, I think of it in my line of work as a set aside, right? It's like a government set aside. We're able to use those funds in that geographical area. And with those funds, we were able to construct the new town hall, the senior center, and the library expansion. So, I mean, I think that that's just an example of being able to serve the people in the community in that particular area.
Yeah, it's done quite some good. All right, well, we're about the end of the interview. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close?
Well, Bob, actually, yeah, I'm just going to set this aside. So, first of all, thanks to you and Annette for helping put this on. And we have some real issues in our town, and I'm trying to step up as a local business owner and community leader, and try to bring my experience and background to the benefit of our community. What the council has recently done this week with the impact fees and some of those effects, that it might seem okay today, right? But we're planning for the future, for our children. When my son gets out of the Marine Corps, I want him to move back to Flower Mound. I want him to have a vibrant town to come back to. And if we start making decisions in a vacuum, we continue to go and have a town without 3 of the main leadership positions. I think we need to focus on building back, building up, and really focus on what is the cause and effect of that. We can't just stop everything, because as a town government, not a business, and not selling widgets, we have very limited revenue streams. And if you start impacting those, something's going to have to give down the road. And I'm just trying to offer a bit of caution in that we also need to look at a longer term plan.
Well, that's where executive experience, management experience is very important.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that's it. I think I want to just close by saying thank you, Derek, and good luck in the election. I'll be seeing you on April, I think it's April 8th. I'll be doing the forum, the debate in town hall, and I guess I'll see you then. In the meantime, good campaigning.
Excellent, sir. Well, thank you for your time. If you would like more information, you can go to derekfrance.com, and I hope to earn your vote on May 1st.
Right, and that will be in the written portion also. So your web page will be in there. Have a great day.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Bye.